Hi everyone, today I'm here to talk about some common gun control arguments from both sides of the political spectrum and help people form their opinion and spread awareness. I'm not here to push my own agenda, I'm just here to help you form an opinion. I'm going to start with a common liberal argument. People don't really need guns for anything. I see where you might be coming from with this argument, but it's hard to say no one in the US needs a gun just because you don't. Some people live in large cities with high crime rates. If you have to walk home every night from one of those cities, it can be threatening. Guns can prevent theft and rape, and regardless of where you find yourself on the political spectrum, this is a good outcome. In the end, however you interpret the Constitution, people should be free to defend themselves. Now, a conservative argument. Guns are not the #1 cause of death in the US. Okay, I see what you're saying here. If motor vehicle accidents and alcoholism cause more death than gun violence, why are we targeting the guns? And by the way, as I found researching this, it's extremely hard to find statistics that aren't biased. Which is weird when you think about it because facts are the facts, and reality should have no conservative or liberal bias. However, I didn't have to search very hard to find out that in 2011, more people were killed in a motor vehicle accident than were murdered with a gun. So an example of this argument would be, we shouldn't try to outlaw guns because they kill less people than cars. It's a good argument, but not for gun freedom. It's a good argument for outlawing cars. Under this logic, you could make a law that says LSD is legal because it would kill less people than car accidents. You could even make a law that says the government should be able to execute 15,000 people every year randomly because it would kill less people than a motor vehicle accident. It's a leap, but the logic is still the same. Now, another liberal argument. Taking away assault rifles will help make people safer. While I wish it's true, I don't think it'll work so well. Chances are, if you're one of those people who's going to go out and murder somebody, you're not going to be stopped by a law that says you can't own a gun. Frankly, whether or not guns are illegalized, people are always going to find a way to murder. It's the sick, twisted truth about people. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting what I just said, but let's take a look at the opposing argument. Meth and heroin are illegal and they're still consumed. Why ban guns if it's going to end up in the hands of criminals? Yes, I made this exact point when rebutting the last argument, but I think it's good to look at both sides of the spectrum. Meth is still consumed and it still kills people. But do we really want to live in a world where meth is legal just because we haven't successfully eradicated it? I would say no. I never want to live in a world where meth or heroin are legal just because we can't get rid of them. But maybe it's different for assault rifles because they defend people. What do you think? And now, one last conservative argument. The problem's not with guns, but with crazy people. Well, actually, I think you might have a point there. Switzerland has almost no gun laws, and their murder rate is very low. Sweden, on the other hand, has a lot of gun laws, and their murder rate is also very low. So maybe it's a cultural thing. You don't have to spend a lot of time in American culture to realize we appreciate gore and violence. And it's no secret we are highly influenced by the media. So maybe the saving force in some of these countries is that they don't absorb all the same gore that we do. Of course, that stuff is available there, but maybe they just don't buy into it the same way we do. Now, I'm not saying we should ban gore in the media because I would go against the First Amendment, and that is a much more basic right than guns could ever be. As sick as violence in the media is, it's something people should be allowed to consume because to take it away would be oppression. And if it is violence in the media that has led to such a high murder rate, maybe the answer to these problems goes a lot deeper than we think. And if that's the case, is there a good solution? I've made this video not to push an agenda, but to start conversation and spread awareness. Don't come to a conclusion just because the rest of Republicans or Democrats are. Think for yourself. Both sides accuse each other of using tragedies to push their own agenda. And I think they're both right. When I got up on the morning of December 14th, 2012, I went on Facebook. I didn't initially see postings about the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary. Instead, I saw people posting things like, guns aren't the problem, people are. And now would be a good time to push gun control. It wasn't even until later that day when someone told me about the shootings that those things started to make sense. I wonder what those people were trying to accomplish. Were they actually motivated to do something by the shooting? Or are they just trying to push a partisan agenda? I'll never know. However, I think if both sides of the aisle just looked across each other, saw that we both want the murder rate to go down, we could try to come together and work on a civil solution. Please let me know what you think about this.